Okay, this is a really exciting moment for me because Carl Hester is here to accept my Dressage Visionary Award. And you have to know something that for the last few years, Carl has been coming in and out of global dressage, and I've been like really shy about saying hello to him. And he's been like, hi, and I've been like, hi. And it's really exciting. I read his book. When your book came out, I sent away, I went on Facebook and I saw where I could get your book, and I waited, I think it was like a month before your book came in the mail, and I read your book, and your book was really good. I mean, it was really good. And I loved reading about your life, and that you grew up on this little island. You grew up on this little island. And this really humble background, like very American middle class, which is how I grew up. And I love that about you, that you worked really hard and you hate math. I hate math.
How did you know I hate math?
Because you said it in your book.
Okay. But that's why I'm here, really, because I hate math and I'm a dressage rider. But it's true, I did come from an island, and it's a very humbling experience to grow up on a place like that. This is all very surreal to be here, and thank you so much for this award. It's hard to... did Robert Dover win this award as well?
He was our first recipient.
Okay, so I read about this, and I thought, what an honour.
Well,
it's an honor,
but it's an honor for us because you've done so much for the sport, and you've evolved, and bringing along the people that you brought along and the horses that you brought along. Everyone always says, "Oh no, not that horse," and then all of a sudden, that horse is an Olympic champion.
Well, I mean, dressage is a long process. We all know that. I mean, training horses is a long thing, and you never know whether they're going to make it until you get there. And that's the great thing I've learned about this sport. You never say never. So, we all start off with certain things that we say it's not going to make it. I mean, the good thing is with this sport, when you don't want it, no one else does. And then when you love your horse, everybody wants it. So, it is actually a good way, because when you're training horses, very often in the beginning things don't go very well. And you just have to know that you have to stick at it, you have to keep going, because no one else wants it when you're having problems, and then you come through them. And then, we had some of the stars that we've had in our yard, Allegro and Utopia, and now Niptuck and Escapado before. We've had some great Olympic horses.
Absolutely.
And they've all come from very strange backgrounds. I mean, when you speak to any rider, most of them say he was a difficult horse when he was young. That's quite normal. So the fact that very often they all come through it and become stars is no surprise, really. So it's lovely to thank you for this. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting the riders that you support. Thank you for bringing along the horses. We really look up to you here. We love the fact that you continue to come. Thank you for
I've even learned to speak in an American accent, so I do feel like quite at home here. I get off the plane and I speak American. I mean, Catherine and I teach her in American. We don't speak in English anymore. As you know, Catherine was from England. I'm lucky I'm here. Jane Clark very kindly brings me over once a year to come and see how Catherine's getting on, because she's been with me in the summer. And the atmosphere here, I've watched it grow, as I'm sure you have.
Yes.
We're 4 years later. We first came here in 2012 and bought Allegro here. I'd love to bring him back here next year. I mean, this
Will
would
you
be...
please? We
We'd
would
love to do that.
to have you come
It's
back.
a possibility. I think this would be a great place to showcaise him again. I mean, he loved being here, and so did we all. And I've watched this place grow. It's fantastic.
I remember when he came here because he was over at the Jim Brandon Center, and he was really young, and he almost, he was amazing. He was amazing, and everybody could see that he was just going to burst forward. And Stefan had Ravel at my phone, and it was that close. And Stefan actually thought he was beaten that night.
It was that close.
Yeah,
And the American judge made it that close. That
Well,
happens. We get used to
home
that.
court advantage.
We get used to that. But Stefan was very gracious that
Always,
night.
always.
And as he always is, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a great sportsman. And he said to Charlotte that night, you should have won. It was very nice
did,
of him.
yeah.
But these things happen. It made her grow as a person. She became a fighter. Everyone, I think it was exciting to see Vallegro in his early days, like how he was coping with atmosphere and things. And there's a fantastic picture in my book. And it's the only time that Vallegro has ever misbehaved in his life. And in the prize giving, a horse ran into him, and you see him standing bolt upright like this, rearing. And that's so not like him, but that's the picture that we have in the book.
I was in that prize giving actually.
Yeah. So it was, it would be lovely to come back and maybe bring him for a demo or something.
I have
for
to
his
tell you
future.
something. We would go crazy.
I know you
Because
would. Yeah,
we would go crazy. We would just love that because you're an icon, he's an icon, and she is too. And you're really beloved. You could see that when she came to Central Park. We really care.
She's stealing all my lines. That's the problem.
She is. She is stealing your life. She is stealing
She's
your
stealing my
life.
lines, but good for her. She's making a career. That's how it should be.
Well,
Lovely
you've
stuff.
done a lot
Thank
for the
you.
sport.
Thank you.
We love you and thank you for being the visionary that you are, and keep it up.
Thank you very
Don't
much.
stop.
Thank you.
Don't retire.
I won't.
We need you in our sport, and thank you. Thank you from Carl Hester and from Engel and Volkers, our Dressage Visionary Award. Good night.
Thank you.